Hello there, very good evening and a warm welcome to the news live on Rupavahini Channel I. I'm Sharon Mascarenhas.
A very good evening indeed. I'm Charitha Minapurarachi and now let's move on to the headlines for tonight's news.
Details have been revealed on a training camp in Motor conducted in relation to the Easter attack. 73% of the O-level candidates have been qualified for the advanced level. 66% have secured passes in mathematics. This year's Vesak State Festival is to be conducted centering on Javardhanarama Vihara, Olabaduwa Horana. The number of those cured by the coronavirus increases to 126 and 48 new corona patients. 1,075 PCR tests have been conducted yesterday. 5,000 rupee allowance have been paid to all those in the Samurdhi and waiting lists. Balance in the COVID-19 Health and Social Security Fund increases to 866 million rupees. Several countries, including Italy, relaxes restrictions imposed on controlling corona expansion.
On to those and other stories in detail now, and starting off with local stories. The Department of Examinations says that 73.84% of the candidates who have sat for the 2019 GCE Ordinary Level Examinations have qualified to pursue studies in GCE Advanced Level Examination. 66.82% of those who have sat for the exam has passed in mathematics subject. The results of the last year's GCE Ordinary Level Examination was included in the internet this afternoon. 717,246 candidates have sat for the GCE Ordinary Level Examination last December. This was the highest number of candidates ever to have applied to sit for an examination in Sri Lanka. Out of this number, 556,256 candidates have sat for the examination. Nearly 411,000 candidates have qualified to follow studies in advanced level. There are 10,346 candidates who have secured A-grade passes for all 9 subjects. The results could be obtained from the official website of the Department of Examinations, www.doinits.lk and www.results.exams.gov.lk. Measures underway to hand over the results to school principals shortly. Those who have any queries regarding examination results should contact through the telephone numbers 0112 784 208, 0112 784 537, 0113 188 350, 0113 140 314 or through hotline 1911 to rectify anomalies.
In other stories, the Department of Criminal Investigations has been successful in unravelling information on a training camp conducted in Muttur by the leader of the terrorist gang of Zaran Hashim. The information was obtained 1 year after the attack from a person named Sadiq, who currently remains in detention. Sadiq and his brother, arrested in Gampal in connection with several extremist activities, including damage in Buddha statue in Mavanella, are presently under CID custody. Sadiq, upon interrogation, said that 5 persons, including himself, had undergone training in a farm in Tahid Nagar in Muttur. The land was said to have belonged to Maulavi in Mavanella. However, it has been revealed that the real owner was a businessman in Topur.
And meanwhile, this year's Vesak Festival will be conducted centering Javardhanarama Vihara in Olabaduwa Horana. The Sashana Rakshaka Balamandala informed the general public to commemorate the Vesak date, giving priority to Pratipatti Puja from their homes in view of the current coronavirus situation. A discussion on Vesak Day was held at the Ministry of Buddhasasana today. The 2564th Vesak Day falls on 7th of next month. The Vesak is scheduled to commence from 4th of next month. All religious programs at Olabaduwa Vihara will be telecasted live over national television throughout the day. Chief Registrar of the Samasta Lanka Shashana Rakshaka Balamandala Venerable Bhagwana Duve Gunananda Thera says that a request has been made to all Buddhist public in the country to engage in religious observances of the Vesak festival in their homes. Venerable Thera also said that Buddhist devotees have also been requested to perform sil in their homes, giving prominence to virtuous deeds. The Venerable Thera has also clarified on the theme of the Vesak week. The theme of this year's Vesak week is Arogya Paramalabha, as preached by Lord Buddha in one of the sermons. The theme exemplifies the fact that health is most supreme blessing. It has been pointed out that it is extremely necessary to engage in all activities during the Vesak festival season in manner preventing the proliferation of the disease. The Buddhist general public have also been requested to host a Buddhist flag in their homes during Vesak week, commencing on the 4th of next month, to light a lamp prior to veneration of the triple gem. The Mahasangha Secretary to the Ministry of Buddhisasana, Cultural and Religious Affairs, Bandula Harishchandra, Commissioner General of Buddhist Affairs, Sunandra Karya Peruma, and a group also have participated in the discussion.
And now to bring you an update on the COVID-19 situation in the country, the number of those fully recovered from the corona disease has reached to 126 today. 6 persons were recovered completely. 438 coronavirus patients are continuously receiving treatment in the hospital. 48 new corona-infected patients were reported today. 44 out of 48 corona patients identified today were Navy officers. It has been established that 180 sailors have been afflicted with the corona disease by today. 112 of them have been reported from the Navy camp in Valisara, and 68 others have been identified among Navy personnel who have returned to their homes on leave. 63 corona-infected persons were reported from the island yesterday. Director General of the Health Services Specialist Physician Anil Jayasinghe said that they have conducted 1,075 tests in their laboratory. A patient was reported from Dabare area in Narayanpeta yesterday. Around 100 persons in the area have been subjected to medical tests. It has been confirmed that they have been confirmed with COVID-19 disease. He further said that PCR tests were scheduled to have been commenced in the Batticaloa Hospital today and tomorrow. This was the highest number of afflicted corona patients recorded in a single day in Sri Lanka. 53 out of 63 patients detected yesterday were the Navy officials engaged in duties at the Valisara Navy camp. 5 others were those directed for quarantine and quarantine centres. A retired official who has returned to the Valisara Navy camp was also reported to have been infected. One other patient was an Air Force officer. 3 more of the infected persons were reported to have been family members of the infected Navy officers. Director General said that although they have received more patients, the Navy is considered as well as disciplined force with an excellent organizational structure. Therefore, there is a possibility to control the situation easily. He further said that the corona is a disease propagated through the respiratory tract with as a disease characteristics including fever. The Director General also said that the afflicted persons should not be viewed through a wrong angle. More than 90 afflicted persons found in the Bandaranaike area. However, the disease has been controlled considerably in the area. Army Commander Lieutenant General Shavendra Silva said that the Navy personnel affected have come from different parts of the island. He added that a fear has been spread throughout the island relating to the fact that the disease has been widespread. However, the afflicted persons were representatives of the 3 armed forces. In some districts, only 1 affected person was found.
සීමා වෙච්ච කට්ටියක් නෙමේ ත්‍රිවිධ හමුදාව ඉන්නේ. නමුත් සමහර දිස්ත්‍රික් එකකින් එක් පුද්ගලයෙක් හමු වෙන්නේ. ඒ දිස්ත්‍රික්කෙම යම්කිසි තතිගැනීමකට ලක් වෙලා තිබෙනවා. අපි යම්කිසි දිස්ත්‍රික් එකක හමු වෙච්ච කට්ටිය මෙතෙක් කල් හොයාගෙන ඔවුන් නිරෝධායන මධ්‍යස්ථානයකට යොදවලා ඔවුන් ඒ නගරය විවෘත කරන්න අපි කටයුතු කරේ නැද්ද? ඉතින් මං හිතන්නේ මේ තරම් බිය යුතු නෑ. ඒත් එක්කම තව දෙයක් තමයි අපි අර එදා ඉඳලා හිටපු ගණන් අපි අවශ්‍යතාවයක් නෑ. දැන් රටේ ඉන්න ආසත්‍යයන් ගැන තමයි විශේෂයෙන්ම හිත යොමු කර යුත්තේ. නැත්නම් ආසාදින වෙලා ගෙවල් වල ඇවිල්ලා දැන් බොහොම හොඳින් ඉන්න කට්ටිය ගැන තාම කතා කරනවා. ඒ විය යුතු නැහැ.
The Director General of Health Services has also expressed views on importing polythene coverings to pack corpses. He further said that every country should have in its possession such polythene coverings. He also said that the body bags should be used in an unexpected situation. Such bags were used in the Easter bomb attacks last year. A corona patient undergoing treatment at Iranavila Hospital was fully cured and left for hospital today. It has also been reported that he was one of the 5 patients admitted to the Iranavila hospital from the infected persons reported from Jaila on the 12th of this month. Meanwhile, the government has focused attention to intensify the conducting of PCR tests through coordination of university medical faculties. A discussion in this connection was conducted with the Vice-Chancellors and Deans of the medical faculties of the universities today, presided over by Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa. Director General of the Health Services Specialist Physician Dr. Anil Jayasinghe said that it has been decided at the meeting presided over by the Prime Minister that to use the PCR machines in Colombo, Kelaniya and Peradeniya universities in this regard. It has also been decided to increase PCR tests to a maximum of 1,200 per day.
ඔවුන් විසින්ම පරීක්ෂණාගාර පවත්වා ගන්න බවටත් ඒ වගේම සෞඛ්‍ය අමාත්‍යාංශයේ යම්කිසි අධීක්ෂණය යටතේ එසේ කිරීමත් ඒ මගින් මේ PCR පරීක්ෂණ දැනට 1200ක පමණ පවතින මෙම ධාරිතාවය දිනකට තවදුරටත් වැඩි කර ගැනීම සඳහා
The staff of the Presidential Task Force to provide relief to the masses facing the COVID-19 epidemic have also been subjected to tests. The staff is engaged in a 24-hour service at Temple Trees, that is. However, the tests conducted so far have confirmed that none of the members of the task force was afflicted. Meanwhile, 5 more persons have ended quarantine and left the Busa Navy Quarantine Center today. They were subjected to PCR tests before leaving. Army Commander Lieutenant General Shavindra Silva said a website named covid19.government.lk has commenced operation today. All reports pertaining to COVID-19 patients in Sri Lanka could be obtained from this website. The government of China has donated further stocks of medical equipment valued at 211 million rupees in support of the program being conducted by the government headed by the Prime Minister to control the coronavirus in Sri Lanka. Acting Chinese ambassador in Sri Lanka, Hu Wei, has handed over the equipment to the Minister of Health, Pavitra Vanyarachi. The ambassador has also presented a report on the measures taken by China to control the coronavirus. The minister has extended gratitude to China for the assistance being provided. The minister was also handed over 1,000 pairs of shoes valued at 1.3 million rupees by the Bharatha Shoe Company. The Office of Indian High Commissioner in Sri Lanka has donated a stock of medical gloves to control the COVID-19 epidemic. The Indian government has previously presented 13 tons of essential medicines to Sri Lanka on 2 occasions. The President has instructed a group of specialists to immediately inspect all camps of the 3 armed forces and to provide a report to him without delay. Priority has been given to the health of the Army officials engaged in quarantine duties. The President has also reiterated the need to evaluate success as well as to find discrepancies in the process. President Secretary P.V. Jayasundara, President's Chief Advisor Lalit Veeratunga, retired Navy Commander Admiral Jayanath Pereira, Jayanta Pereira and the other heads of security divisions as well as the specialist physicians have attended the event.
And let's move on to the Corona World Update. Countries around the world, including Australia, New Zealand, Iran, Italy and Spain, are moving to ease coronavirus lockdown as daily infections and deaths slow. The UN Rights Chief has warned the countries flouting the rule of law in the name of fighting the novel coronavirus pandemic, risk sparking a human rights disaster. Worldwide, the number of people confirmed to have the coronavirus have risen to more than 3 million and at least 207,000 have died, while 888,000 people have recovered. United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights Michelle Bachelet called on countries to refrain from violating fundamental rights under the guise of exceptional or emergency measures. In a statement, the UN Human Rights Chief said emergency powers should not be a weapon governments can wield to quash dissent, control the population and even perpetuate their time in power. Meanwhile, the number of confirmed COVID-19 cases worldwide topped 3 billion to reach 3,012,224 and the death toll hit 207,860, affecting over 210 countries and territories. The confirmed cases reported from countries outside of China reached 2.9 million. In Europe, Spain counted another 331 new virus deaths, with the overnight toll rising by several dozens from its lowest level more than a month. The figure raised the overall toll to 23,521. Spain, which has suffered the world's third highest number of deaths, but which on Sunday began easing the conditions of its lockdown, allowing children out to play for first time in 6 weeks. Spain has recorded 229,422 confirmed cases, with 2,793 new cases reported in the past 24 hours. The coronavirus pandemic claimed 26,644 lives in lockdown Italy as of yesterday, bringing the total number of infections, fatalities and recoveries to 197,675. A total of 260 people died from the disease in the last 24 hours, with the lowest single-day death toll. Meanwhile, the number of new deaths, infections and number of patients in intensive care has continued to decline in Italy. Italy's Prime Minister Giuseppe Conte has announced that the second phase of Italy's lockdown will begin from May 4th. France saw its COVID-19 deaths risen by 242 to 22,856 as of yesterday, the lowest daily increase this week, bringing relief to the health systems of the country, which is planning to lift the lockdown on May 11th. The total of positive cases stood at 124,575, up by 461 in the last 24 hours. New Zealand has claimed that the community transmission of COVID-19 has been prevented in the country. With new cases in single figures for several days, Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern said that virus is currently eliminated. Several non-essential business, healthcare and educational activities set to resume tomorrow in New Zealand. The country has reported 1,469 confirmed or probable cases of coronavirus and 19 deaths. The states of Queensland and Western Australia will release coronavirus-related restrictions this week following signs of progress in countries fighting against the pandemic. These came as Australia launched a contact tracking mobile app to boost its efforts to combat the coronavirus outbreak. Australia has recorded 6,720 COVID-19 cases while reporting 83 deaths at present. Saudi Arabia announced that the country will partly lift restrictions that will put in place to prevent the spread of the coronavirus. Starting from April 29th, commercial and economic activities will be allowed in wholesale and retail stores and shopping centers. Saudi Arabia has reported 17,522 confirmed cases with 139 deaths thus far. The United States reported 987,322 confirmed cases, 55,415 deaths in the country as of today. The state of New York, the epicenter of the coronavirus outbreak in the U.S., reported over 299,000 COVID-19 cases. Over 22,000 people statewide have died of the disease. In India, the number of COVID-19 cases in the country has escalated to 27,977 and the death toll was 884 thus far. So far, 6,529 people have been discharged from hospitals after showing improvement. Today marked the 34th straight day of an ongoing lockdown across the country announced by the government to contain the spread of the pandemic.
And to bring you the update in Italy, it will allow factories and building sites to reopen on May 4th and permit limited family visits as the country prepares a stage end to Europe's longest lockdown.
Italy's coronavirus lockdown will begin to lift from May 4th. Building sites and factories like this car plant in Turin will be allowed to reopen from that date, with more businesses such as retailers to follow in the weeks thereafter. Prime Minister Giuseppe Conte.
Vogliamo tutti che il paese riparta.
We all want the country to go back to normal, but the only way to live with the virus in this phase is not to get sick and to respect social distancing. If we do not respect distance and take precautions, the curve will go up again and it may get out of control.
La curva risalirà e potrà andare fuori controllo.
The move comes more than 2 months after the first case of COVID-19 appeared at a small town outside Milan. The country's restaurants and bars will be allowed to reopen from the beginning of June. Limited family visits and funerals with no more than 15 people present will also be permitted, but movement between regions remains suspended. Italy's death toll remains the heaviest in Europe, with more than 26,000 dead and 200,000 confirmed cases of the disease.
Britain's Prime Minister Boris Johnson is back at work after recovering from COVID-19. In a speech, the Prime Minister said that UK is at the moment of maximum risks in the coronavirus outbreak, as he urged people not to lose patience with the lockdown.
British Prime Minister Boris Johnson returned to work on Monday after recovering from the coronavirus and insisted it's too risky to relax the lockdown yet.
This is the moment of opportunity. This is the moment when we can press home our advantage. It is also the moment of maximum risk, because I know there will be many people looking now at our apparent success and beginning to wonder whether now is the time to go easy on those social distancing measures. And I know how hard and how stressful it has been to give up, even temporarily, those ancient and basic freedoms, not seeing friends, not seeing loved ones, working from home, managing the kids, worrying about your job and your firm.
Johnson arrived back in Downing Street on Sunday to enormous challenges in front of him. The UK's death toll is well over 20,000 and rising. The economy is facing possibly the deepest recession in 3 centuries, and his party and scientific advisers are divided over how and when to begin easing restrictions. Johnson, though, was keen to stress that the country could not risk a second wave of infections.
And yet we must also recognise the risk of a second spike, the risk of losing control of that virus and letting the reproduction rate go back over 1. Because that would mean not only a new wave of death and disease, but also an economic disaster. And we would be forced once again to slam on the brakes across the whole country and the whole economy, and reimpose restrictions in such a way as to do more and lasting damage.
And it's that NHS to which Johnson owes his life after he was admitted to intensive care with the virus 3 weeks ago. His government has been criticised for failing to supply all health workers with enough personal protective equipment. And it has a big task ahead in reaching its target of 100,000 tests a day by the end of the month. But Johnson was adamant that better days lie ahead.
If we can show the same spirit of unity and determination as we've all shown in the past 6 weeks, then I have absolutely no doubt that we will beat it. Together we will come through this all the faster, and the United Kingdom will emerge stronger than ever before. Thank you all very much.
Meanwhile, in Australia, nearly 2 million Australians rushed to download an app designed to help medical workers and state governments as they trace close contacts of COVID-19 patients, as the Prime Minister Scott Morrison's approval rating soared on his pandemic response.
Nearly 2 million Australians downloaded a coronavirus tracing app within just 16 hours of its release. Australia has been one of the most successful countries in fighting the pandemic, recording just 83 deaths and 6,700 cases, thanks to border closures, movement restrictions and a stay-at-home policy. It has lowered the daily infection growth rate to less than 1%, down from the 25% seen in March. Some Australian states have also begun easing social distancing restrictions. Prime Minister Scott Morrison has said at least 40% of the country's 25.7 million people will need to download the app. Morrison has also enjoyed a surge in popularity during the pandemic, with his approval rating skyrocketing 27 points since the first week of March to 68%, according to the most recent news poll for the Australian newspaper. That's the best approval rating for a leader since the end of 2008.
And in Pakistan, for millions of Muslims, Ramadan has to be included with health and safety restrictions this year, meaning that celebrations to break the fast each day have to take place in an home. On the streets of Karachi, locals have only ventured out for essential supplies.
Fears over health and restrictions on movement have forced many Pakistanis to start the festival of Ramadan in an uncharacteristically subdued fashion. The usually bustling city of Karachi was left relatively deserted, leaving the locals who were out and about gathering supplies to wonder how all this happened. Taxi driver Asif Chipra was left asking, "What has happened to my city? Where did all the hustle and bustle go? It looks like it's totally wrecked. There used to be roadside iftars all over the place. They're not visible anywhere. Hundreds of thousands of people would break their fasts on the road." Pakistan is a predominantly Muslim country where more than 90% of its more than 200 million people practice Islam, and most of them fast during the holy month.
Meanwhile, as researchers scramble to find a way to safely disinfect N95 masks for reuse, many are turning to the man behind its virus-blocking technology. Peter Tsai invented the filtration fabric inside the mask nearly 30 years ago and spent decades perfecting it before retiring from the University of Tennessee last year.
Peter Tsai invented the N95 mask 30 years ago, which is now one of the most sought-after pieces of protective gear for frontline medical workers. With hospitals across the US facing shortages of mask supplies, researchers scramble to find a way to safely disinfect N95 for reuse. Tsai, a material scientist and engineer, came out of retirement and rejoined research efforts.
I did not expect that this will happen. That this happens, it comes all of a sudden, so I don't have time to fear something. I just feel obligated to help the industries and to provide information to find a way to sterilize the mask.
In some hospitals, supply is so low that some have reportedly resorted to using soapy water, alcohol or bleach to sterilize their gear. But experts warn that those decontamination methods are not effective and could, in fact, damage the mask. Tsai said he is currently looking at whether exposing the masks to high temperatures for a specific period of time could work.
And for more local stories, the police says more than 40,000 people have been arrested on charges of breaching the curfew. The curfew currently being enforced in all districts other than in the high-risk zones is scheduled to be relaxed at 5 a.m. tomorrow. The areas identified as high-risk zones are the districts of Colombo, Kalutara, Puttalam and Gampaha. Curfew in these districts will continue till 5 a.m. on the 4th of next month. In the areas where the curfew is to be lifted at 5 a.m. tomorrow, it will be reimposed at 8 p.m. on the same day. DIG Ajit Rohana said that the possibility of maintaining officers and factories have been explored. 50% of the seats of the common passenger transportation service should be used.
සැමවිටම සෞඛ්‍ය බලධාරීන් විසින් ලබා දෙන උපදෙස් අනුවයි පවත්වාගෙන යා යුත්තේ විශේෂයෙන්ම ආයතන ප්‍රධානීන්ට දැනුම් දී ඇති පරිදි ඒ සේවක සංඛ්‍යාවෙන් ප්‍රතිශතයක් පමණයි සහභාගී විය යුත්තේ. ඒ වගේම පොදු ප්‍රවාහන සේවා භාවිතා කිරීමේදීත් එම පොදු ප්‍රවාහන සේවාවක තිබෙන ආසන සංඛ්‍යාවෙන් 50% පමණ භාවිතා කළ යුතු වෙනවා. දැන් මේ ගැන අපි අවධානයෙන් පසු වෙනවා ශ්‍රී ලංකා පොලිසිය ලෙස. මේ හැඳුනුම්පත් අංක පිළිබඳව යම් ආකාරයක කතිකාවතක් නිර්මාණය වී තිබුණා. එය නීතියක් නොවේ උපදේශයක් පමණයි. විශේෂයෙන්ම හෙට අඟහරුවාදා දිනේ එතකොට 3 සහ 4 අංක අවසාන අංක වශයෙන් තමයි හැඳුනුම්පතේ තියෙනවා නම් එවැනි අය පිටතට පැමිණීම වඩාත් යෝග්‍යයි.
Measures have been taken to impose curfew in the whole island throughout the day today in order to facilitate reporting back to duties for all security forces personnel on the 3 armed forces who have gone on leave. Transportation facilities have also been provided for the officials of the 3 armed forces to return to barracks. Sri Lanka Army Commander Lieutenant General Shavendra Silva said that all members of the 3 armed forces who are on vacation have returned to their barracks. The government has enforced curfew in the country in order to control the spread of the coronavirus. However, it has been reported that many persons are still engaged in violating the curfew. Operations are continued to arrest the culprits.
DIG
Ajit Rohana said that so far only those who have violated the curfew were arrested. Those who violate the rule of social distancing are also liable to be arrested. The DIG has requested not to misuse curfew permits. The DIG further said that 10,332 vehicles have also been taken into police custody.
පුද්ගලික ස්ථානවල ගැවසෙනවා නම් රැස්වීම් පවත්වනවා නම් ඒ වගේම විශේෂයෙන්ම වෙළඳ සැල්වල ආර්ථික මධ්‍යස්ථානවල මේ ආකාරයට කටයුතු කරනවා නම් එවැනි අයවලුන් අත්අඩංගුවටගෙන නීතිය ඉදිරියට පැනවීම සඳහා ඒ නිසා ඇඳිරි නීතිය නොමැති කාලය තුලත් මේ සෞඛ්‍ය සිරිත් පුරුදු වලට අනුගත වෙමින් කටයුතු කරන ලෙසට ඉල්ලා සිටිනවා. ඒ වගේම ඇඳිරි නීති බලපත්‍ර අවභාවිතා කරන්නට එපා. ඒ වගේම ඔබට අත්‍යවශ්‍ය සේවාවක් හැටියට ඔබේ සේවා හැඳුනුම්පත පාවිච්චි කිරීමට අවස්ථාව ලබා තිබෙනවා. එම සේවා හැඳුනුම්පත අවභාවිතා කරන්නට එපා. ඇඳිරි නීතිය ආරම්භ කළ දිනේ සිට අද දක්වා කාලය තුල 40,095 දෙනෙක් අද දින දහවල් 12 වන විට අත්අඩංගුවටගෙන තිබෙනවා. ඒ වගේම වාහන 10,332ක් පොලිස් භාරයටගෙන තිබෙනවා. එමෙන්ම මේ සම්බන්ධයෙන් නිරන්තරයෙන් අපි කටයුතු කරනවා. විශේෂයෙන්ම පොලිසියට ගන්නා වාහන මුදා හැරීමක් සිදු කරන්නේ නැහැ. ඒ සම්බන්ධ නඩු කටයුතු අවසන් වනතුරු ඒ නිසා ඇඳිරි නීති නොමැති ඇඳිරි නීති
As a means to control coronavirus expansion, it has become imperative to prevent unnecessary assembly of people in main roads. Passenger transportation in SLTB, buses and trains have been strictly limited to those who engage in employment. All persons other than those who engage in duties in essential services should remain in their homes. Any person should leave the home only for purposes of purchasing food, medicine and other essential items. They should also select the closest sales center located within walking distance. If any area is a district where curfew has been relaxed was identified as a high-risk zone, there is a probability of imposing day-long curfew restricted to the identified area. It is totally prohibited for any person to either enter or leave such an area. Engagement in all types of fair ceremonies, pilgrimages, recreational tours, carnivals, processions and meetings have also been banned until further notice. It has also been informed to suspend religious ceremonies as well as congregation of masses would become detrimental to the well-being of the society. The government says the maximum punishments will be given under the existing laws for any violator of the law. And the balance of the COVID-19 Social Security Fund has exceeded 866 million rupees. The fund is enriched with direct deposits based on institutional and personal levels. Chief incumbent of the Mihintale Rajamaha Vihare, Venerable Valavahengu Navave Dhammaratana Thera, has donated 1 million rupees and the Kalanwi Rajamaha Vihare another 1 million rupees to the fund. The Kirivihara Rajamaha Vihare has also donated 1 million rupees and the Sri Vajra Ramakarya Sadhaka Samiti 96,000 rupees. A sum of 5 million rupees has been contributed by the Sanasa Development Bank and a further 1 million rupees by Sanasa Insurance Company Limited. All Anandis residing in New South Wales, Australia have contributed 500,000 rupees and the Vocational Training University 1.1 million rupees to the fund. ADRC Leonard has contributed 250,000 rupees and the Maga Nagume Road Construction Equipment Company 661,000 rupees. The Microcar Limited Company has donated a bus valued at 9 million rupees to be used in COVID-19 control operations. It was handed over to President Gotabaya Rajapaksa at the President's office today. Chairman of the Microcar Limited, Dr. Lawrence Pereira, Secretary to the President, Dr. P.B. Jayasundara, President's Chief Advisor, Lalit Veeratunga, were also present on this occasion. The Ceylon Electricity Board has also donated 5 million rupees to the fund. It includes day pay of Ceylon employees amounting to 2.2 million rupees. A board of directors of CEB and trade union representatives have handed over the relevant checks to Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa today. All contributions should be credited to the special account number 85737373 at the institutional branch of the Bank of Ceylon. All deposits credited through legally valid accounts are exempted from taxes and foreign exchange regulations. Further information could be obtained from Director General Administration KBA Egotavela through telephone numbers 0112 354 479 and 0112 354 354.
Meanwhile, the Colombo District Bharatha Association has donated dry rations for the poor. The donation was handed over by the president of the association, Kennedy Fernando, at the Bharatha Association Cultural Hall at Brass Founder Street, Colombo 13. Dry ration parcels valued at 3,000 and 5,000 rupees were donated. The association is presently providing 50 dry ration parcels to every church during this period.
And meanwhile, another stage of the Saubhagya Gevatte cultivation program under the National Food Production Program has commenced today. The new phase of the program has been named as Home Gardening to the Saubhagya Workplace. Seeds were symbolically handed over to the Civil Defence Task Force at the Ministry of Agriculture today. The cultivation activities are scheduled to be commenced shortly by the Civil Defence Department.
The Department of Samurdhi Development says that 5,000 rupee allowance has already been provided to 2.52 million Samurdhi beneficiaries. Director General of the Samurdhi Development Department, Attorney at Law Bandula Thilaka Sirivardhana says that payments were ordered to be made from tomorrow to those who have not yet received payments due to delays upon consideration of their appeals. 57,074 appeals have been received from those who were not covered in the first round. It has also been pointed out that some delays have occurred in certain locations in the Colombo district regarding payments. Meanwhile, provision of 5,000 rupee allowance to low-income earners who are not Samurdhi beneficiaries is also being successfully implemented. A sum of 51.3 million rupees has been paid as 10,265 recipients in the Kadavat Satra Divisional Secretariat Division in Gaul. Those who have not yet received the 5,000 rupee allowance will be paid in due course. The allowances are being paid for those who have not yet received payments and those who have submitted appeals. 148 beneficiaries in the Yatalavata Grama Seva Division have received 740,000 rupees. Handing over of 5,000 rupee allowances to 19,500 recipients in 42 divisions in the Moratua Divisional Secretariat Division is taking place. So far, 11,338 persons have received the allowance. Let's look at local news. Stay with us. Foreign news is coming up next.
බුද්ධිමත් ඇගේ තීරණය ප්‍රීමා ස්ටෙලා අපි හැමෝම කැමති ප්‍රීමා ටොප් සමගින් ස්පයිස් අප් වෙන්න ප්‍රීමා ටොප්ස් නූඩල්ස් ස්පයිස් අප් වෙන්න.
On Foreign News tonight, a team of researchers from Hong Kong University claim to have developed an antiviral coating they say can provide 90 days of significant protection against bacteria and viruses such as novel coronavirus.
What sounds like a gentle fan is the hum of a spray gun spreading a blanket of new, smarter antiviral material. Researchers say what they call MAP1 could be a leg up in the fight against the novel coronavirus, and it's already in use around the city of Hong Kong. MAP1's inventors at the Hong Kong University of Science and Technology claim it can provide 90 days of significant protection against bacteria and viruses, including the one that causes COVID-19. It's not toxic and can be stuck on surfaces that are frequently touched, like elevator buttons or handrails. Professor Joseph Kwon is one of the lead researchers.
These are places that are frequently touched, and at the same time, they serve as very effective fomite or medium for transmission of diseases. So with that, the application of this product will be most effective in preventing transmission of diseases.
The research was a decade-long undertaking, but it found the coating that forms after a spray was effective in killing bacteria, viruses and spores. MAP 1 works through millions of nano capsules that contain disinfectants. Unlike diluted bleach or alcohol, the coating also contains heat-sensitive compounds that release the disinfectant on human touch.
And when somebody touches on it, the polymer material can feel the temperature increase from the body heat, and they will open up and release the disinfectant. And once you remove your hand, they will close up, and thus conserving this disinfectant.
The coating was approved for official and mass consumer use in February and will hit Hong Kong stores in May this year. With help from a local charity, the non-toxic coating has already been sprayed around the homes of more than 1,000 low-income families in Hong Kong.
And with that, we conclude tonight news. Do watch us tomorrow at the very same time. Stay safe. Good night.